What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To play.
Good morning, ladies.
The world.
Woo! What's up? What's up?
Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
I am looking for an Amazon package that is apparently lost. It still says it's out for delivery at 10 o'clock at night. Still arriving today, it says. Okay. Sure you are.
And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To play. Haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
So we've got 500 pages to go over, guys. It might take a little bit here. I don't know. Let me stop that. Stop that music. I let it run over. I was putting it in my headphone. Okay. Let's see what we got. GoFundMe time.
Hey Daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Will Bird. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. How you guys doing today? Welcome. We got a brand new GoFundMe for millionaire Nick Alvear to defend himself against millionaire Phil Godlewski. Seems kind of strange, you know? A man with a company making $50K a month needs your money to go to court. Not to mention, he says that he knows he's going to win. His lawyers told him, open and shut. He's got nothing to be worried about. And if you get taken to court by someone and you're going to win, it's the easiest ask in the world to ask for attorney fees.
Just resubscribed for 21 months. It's been a great 21 months. Thank you for being real.
Thank you very much for the resubscription. Like if he really wins, it looks like Phil just drug him to court just to fucking bug him or to get the video taken down or whatever. It would be the easiest ask in the world to get his attorney fees covered. Why would he need a what? Why would he need to GoFundMe? Well, let's see. Now that we have a good direction in our defense for y'all to see, feel free to participate in donating to the cause. A criminal charge from the past cannot be wiped away in the present through weightless defamation claims. I think you've made a lot more claims than just he's got a criminal past. Donate if you'd like to participate in assisting my legal team in doing the right thing. Download our motion to dismiss here. For large donations, feel free to reach out via email to coordinate wire transfer, nick@goodline.tv. After exposing Philip Godlewski's crimes from 2010 to present day in a film titled The Greatest Fraud on Earth, which you can watch here and download it here, Nick Alvier was retaliated against with threats to his family, his well-being, his bank account. Phil believes his grifted money should be wasted in suing Nick for defamation, although the reality is there is no defamation because the reporting from Nick's film is absolutely true. I think that maybe the film might have stood alone. But have you not seen all the other crazy shit he said? He's the one who posted that Phil doesn't have custody of his kids because he would be fucking them right now, which is not even true. It's not even true. Phil does have joint custody of his kids. You can't say things like that. I don't think the film is the issue. There's probably some areas where Phil could push because this is not actually true here. He went too far there, but the film's the smallest issue out of all the things you've done, you fucking retard. Anyways, there's no debate about it, and the state of Pennsylvania knows this to be true. I know there are a lot of people who'd like to participate in taking this psychopath further down the walk of shame. So I've opened up the opportunity to receive donations strictly for legal fees. I've so far paid $10,000 for a retainer and will keep defending my truth no matter the cost. With your help, we can all say we took him down together. This is such a gross money grab. Oh, it's so we all took him down together. Bro, you make like $50K a month. Why are you even having people donate? Why are you even having people donate? Just have them all fucking send a letter that say they support you. Why does that money have to be involved? They're already subscribed to you. They're already paying you money. And you're gonna take their money while you're making 30, 40, 50K a month off Good Line? How disgusting. Even Phil was smart enough to not run GoFundMe's again once he made money, right? I understand the first one he crowdfunded, whatever. That was pretty fucked up, but at least he's not running them now, right? Like, hey, Nick defamed me. Don't you guys want to be part of setting the story straight? Just send $100. For large donations, feel free to damn, he's really wants these large donations, doesn't he? There's another. For large donations, feel free to reach out via email to coordinate a wire transfer. I bet you no one's going to give you the $17 million that Phil gave me to do this show. He said he paid it back to his donors. He said in court documents, he said that on his show, he said he planned to refund that. In court documents, I think he said he planned to refund it, but he hasn't. I don't remember exactly what he says. If you're talking about Phil, the range of costs for defamation lawsuit can go anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000. You're not even close, dude. And if it gets extended to trial, which 90% defamation cases never do, it could be somewhere near $100,000. I would say I would bet $100,000 from the start. Dude, you're already in a 10K retainer. What's that going to get you, 2 weeks? I would say $100K from the start, and I would probably budget $250K, $300K to go to court, and it's probably on the conservative side. I'm going to be looking at all these donations. If Phil sends one, we know you're bought off. Remember that. This one's going directly to you, though. That's weird. Not to your nephew or a baby or anything like that. Just directly to you, huh? Praying for you, my friend. I know you've reported truth. Phil needs to be stopped. It may be that God does it first. Is that a threat from God? Praying for Phil as well, hoping he repents and sees God's face and turns from his wicked ways. Time is running short for deceivers and evil. It's not. Nothing's changing. Go get him, Nick. Justice needs to be served from Ontario, Canada. To be fair, I think that if it was just the film and Phil wanted to take that to court, I think he'd have a hard time getting very far on just the film. Okay? I really do. But there is no way that I can see someone defending, oh, you want to know why this person doesn't have custody of their kids, and they actually do have custody of their kids, right? You want to know why this person has custody of their kids? Because they would fuck them. They would be fucking them right now. How do you defend that in court? Nobody thinks that should be protected speech. I don't. Jesus Christ. Much love to Alpha and Nick from an anonymous donor. Praying for you. Go get him. Thank you for everything you've done and will hopefully continue to do. My family and I don't know you, but we love you. And love defeats evil every time. Not in court. Not in court. It's about what you can prove. Now destroy this son of for good. Love from Chicago. You really fucked that up, Eric. It was your one chance to put it there. This son of for good from Chicago. There you go. Nick's donations. He's got, I don't know, $700 in there now. I think they just posted it. I'm not saying he doesn't. I mean, he'll probably make a ton of donations off of it. I just don't think he deserves them. Like, again, maybe even if he just put the movie out and went along about his life and Phil came after him to silence the movie, maybe even then I would be more lenient for a give, send, go. But they've spent weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks saying horrible, untrue shit about, yeah, I get it. Nobody likes Phil. That doesn't mean that you could just say horrible, untrue shit about him and he's just got to fucking take it. It's not how it works, right? There's a lot of people I don't like, but you can't just say fucking horrible shit about them and then they're just supposed to be like, it's all good. They can just keep repeating this. He claims he's a millionaire. When I made that statement, like everybody has a number, like I'm not asking you to change your beliefs, but if someone just told you, hey, disappear. If someone come to you at work, and let's say you love your job as an accountant, and someone came to you at work and said, I'll give you $1 million to retire today, no questions asked, no strings attached, you just $1 million, you retire today, and you never come back to work. Of course you'd fucking take it. Nick said he wouldn't because he's already a millionaire. He's already a millionaire. He hasn't been served. He hasn't been served. That's the same with me. If Phil or Scott or Nick, anybody came to me and was like, hey, here's $200,000, just never mention me again. You couldn't pay me off to be like, oh, this guy's a good guy. And the stuff that I've claimed in the past is actually not true. I've changed my stance on it. Like, I'm not going to do that shit. But if you just said never mention me again, hell yeah. Hell yeah. What? All my videos still stand. Everybody's exposed these people. Yeah, hell yeah. Bye, motherfuckers. Bye. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, we've got documents, boys. We've got, boy, do we have documents. We got 500 pages of documents. I guess we need to check them out. If someone came to me and you're like, you have to retract everything, you have to say that this never happened, that never happened, you have to say that Bree's a liar, the Scranton Times are lying, and I couldn't do that, right? That's all I've got is my credibility. But if they just said, hey, let's never talk about this again, bye. That's somebody says shows your character in chat. That's nothing to do with character. That's nothing to do with character. I spent 3 years calling these people out. What does that show in my character? That I moved on to something else? I wouldn't talk about Nick for $100. That's right. All right, let's see what we got here. I don't think my package is coming, guys. I don't think it's going to make it. What do you mean still out for delivery? They're running around with headlamps on and shit, delivering at 3 a.m. That'd be scary. Still arriving today. When it gets close, you can when you're within 10 stops of your package, if Amazon's delivering it, you can actually see the Amazon truck driving. But I never got that update, so Amazon carrier facility. So it switched over, and it's probably a FedEx. Damn it, FedEx. It's some stabilizer jacks, is what it is. Not a turbo. I need a turbo. I need to get a tiny little turbo for the 2.2 liter. What's up? What's up, everybody? Forgot to say hi. Well, I'm glad you're here. Glad you made it. You guys ready? 4 a.m. with them. They don't do that shit here. Dude, they fucking at like when it gets like dark 30, they're done. They're over with. Out of here. Especially FedEx and UPS. Even like during Christmas when all the packages are going, they just hire extra helpers. They don't even work. They don't work late. They don't do overtime. Which they're all union, I guess. Got to wet my whistle, guys. Calm down. We'll get there. Isn't it weird that their email addresses are HR Law 04 and HR Law 06? Why wouldn't it be like Ryan at HR Law or Dave at HR? Those are weird email addresses, aren't they? Anyways. Phil wanted him to be a partner in some shit. Yeah, I saw that message. I don't know what that was about. Working together and making millions or whatever. Nick showed it. Oh, no, Nick said I'm already a millionaire, and Phil said I'm talking about billions, I guess. I don't even know if those are true. I guess, as Phil said, they're true. I know Nick says they're true, but I mean, they're just a screenshot. Here we go. The Amazon drivers have it bad. My son got a job driving for Amazon. He had training 1 week, 1 day on the road, and then the next day by himself. He didn't go back. Yeah, it's really bad. Amazon drivers. What sucks about UPS and FedEx and even the post office, they get routes, right? So you go on your routes. Fucking Amazon, it's like a new person every time I see them. How could you even get used to that and all the places and shit? Motion to dismiss Phil's complaint. Motion to strike paragraphs 41, 44, and 55 through 63. And now come defendants, Eduardo Nicholas Alvir Gonzalez, a.k.a. Alvir Gonzalez Eduardo Nicholas, a.k.a. Nicholas Alvir, collectively identified individual defendant, and Goodline TV, LLC, corporate defendant. By and through their counsel, Rothenberg and Campbell, hereby move to dismiss plaintiff's complaint for lack of personal jurisdiction. So they're basically saying, I don't think they're going to make a claim. They're going to make a claim that the court shouldn't be held in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania doesn't have jurisdiction over this. But I think once the court learns that they fundraise to specifically put billboards and mobile billboards and an airplane and flyers and postcards in Pennsylvania, I don't think you're getting it moved, right? They literally went out of their way, maybe before all that, if it was just the movie again, but they literally went out of their way to make it in Pennsylvania. I don't know. Lack of personal jurisdiction and failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Alternatively, to strike paragraphs 41, 44, and 53 through 63 included from same pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. 12B2, 12B6, and 12BF. Let's look up the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12. So they're saying 12B2. It says these are defenses, objections when and how, and presenting motions for judgment on pleadings, consolidating motions, waiving defenses pretrial. So they are saying 12B2 would be if the court grants, oh, is it capital B or lowercase b? It's a lowercase b. My bad. How to present defenses. Every defense to claim for relief in the pleading must be asserted in responsive pleading if one is required. But a party may assert the following defenses by motion. So B2 is lack of personal jurisdiction. They shouldn't have court in Pennsylvania. B6 is failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted, just something they put up here. And let's see, 12F. That's the first time we've seen 12F. EF, lowercase f. Yes. Motion to strike. The court may strike from a pleading an insufficient offense and any redundant, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous matter. The court may act, one, on its own, or two, on motion made by a party, either before responding to a pleading or, if a response is not allowed, within 21 days after being served with the pleading. So there you go. That's motion to strike is 12F. Anybody can look up the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, by the way. You just Google it. Preliminary statements. Nick moves to dismiss Phil's complaint for lack of personal jurisdiction pursuant to Rule 12B2. Specifically, dismissal is appropriate here as this honorable court lacks general, specific, and effective personal jurisdiction over Nick, both being citizens of Tennessee. Oh, Nick and Goodline. Both being citizens of Tennessee with such minimal and unfocused respective contacts with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, such that being sued therein was not reasonably foreseeable and offends traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. Again, I don't think this... Here's what I think. I do not think that Nick has told his lawyers what all has happened. I think he said, hey, this guy has got this charge. A lot of people, and the documents show this. Scranton Times said this. A lot of people say this. Phil claims this, but we made a movie and pointed all this out. Here's the movie. I don't think the harassment and all the shit over the top, the claims they made on all their streams and their live streams about people being paid off and Phil probably fucking this kid or putting down a deposit through a GoFundMe to fuck a baby when it's 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old, or Phil fucking his own kids. I don't think he's told them all that, to be honest with you. They might not even know that he did the billboards, the airplane, the postcards, the flyers, the mobile billboards. I don't think, like, that's jurisdiction right there. He did all of that in Pennsylvania. Additionally, dismissal is appropriate pursuant to Rule 12B6 as plaintiff cannot properly establish wrongful conduct, causation, or damages. Essential ternary elements to each of the plaintiff's quaternary state law tort claims. Let's see what that word means. That's the first time I ever read it, I think. Ternary is composed of three parts. So, quaternary, ternary, and quaternary. Composed of three parts, composed of four parts. Is that what it means? Fourth in order of rank. So, third and fourth is all they're saying. Essential ternary elements to each of plaintiff's quaternary state law tort claims. The particular language, events, and circumstances Phil alleges Nick to have wrongfully published each address Phil as a public figure and or matters of public concern substantiated by documents of public record made available to Nick by Phil's own litigiousness. This fact, coupled with Phil's own admission that he is unable and unwilling to prove the falsity of these publications, doom his ability to recover civil damages. Now, maybe, again, if it was just the movie. If it was just the movie. Phil can prove he has custody of his kids. Phil can also prove he's not fucking his kids, and that's not the reason he lost custody. Phil can prove that he donated to a GoFundMe for a baby. He can prove it was not a deposit to fuck the child. These are some of the craziest claims they've made. I agree, Marty. I think that, yeah, he's got a history, and I think everybody should know about it, and it should probably be out there, and people should talk about it. And he kind of brought this on himself with the Scranton Times case, bringing everything back to the forefront. But the financial stuff that he's currently doing should be shoved down everybody's fucking throats. But and reported to the proper authorities. Doom his ability to recover civil damage. Alternatively, Nick moved to strike paragraphs 41, 44, and 53 through 63 of plaintiff's complaint as immaterial, scandalous, and or impertinent pursuant to Rule 12F. Apparative, factual, and procedural background. Plaintiff, Phil Godlewski, initiated the instant matter by filing a complaint in the United States District Court for Middle District of Pennsylvania against Nick Alvear. Good Line Films on February 28th, 2024. Phil is a resident and citizen of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania with a listed address 1235 Lantern Hill Road, Shavertown, Luzerne County, PA, 18708. Nick is a resident and citizen of the state of Tennessee and has had a very few physical or digital contacts with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, residing at 1009 8th Avenue South, Nashville, Tennessee, 37203, and acting Chief Executive Officer of duly authorized agent of corporate defendant. A true and correct copy of the individual defendant's affidavit is attached here too, incorporated herein and marked as Exhibit A. Corporate defendant, Good Line, is a limited liability company organized and existing under the laws of the state of Wyoming with company ID number 2022-001-07-0783 and a registered agent listed as Cloud Peak Law, LLC, with an address of 1095 Sugarview Drive, Suite 500, Sheridan, Wyoming, 82801. A lot of people file LLCs in different states because tax breaks or it's cheaper to file there or whatever. Nick individually and or jointly have minimum contacts with Pennsylvania. Maybe, except when you literally did a fundraiser to do all this shit in Pennsylvania. This is frivolous. This is dumb. You did all this shit in Pennsylvania. Oh shit, hold on. Back. No continued or systemic physical presence therein, nor have they deliberately focused any activities towards the forum state to such an extent as to reasonably foresee being sued in Pennsylvania. This is just a lie, right? Nor have they deliberately, so on purpose, focused any activities toward the forum state. Have they focused activities towards Pennsylvania? Anybody can see this. What the fuck? They focused everything towards Pennsylvania. Almost everything was focused at Pennsylvania. So that he couldn't foresee being sued in Pennsylvania. So Nick did a fundraiser to do billboards, mobile billboards, radio ads. I forgot about the radio commercials. Flyers, postcards, had people up there posing in front of the billboards and daring Phil to come out for an old fisticuffs match. The TVs at the airport, and literally said everybody in his town should see these. Everybody needs to know. They literally focused everything there until Phil left, and then they did the same thing in Hawaii. They should have foreseen being sued in Pennsylvania. I would have. If I was going to get sued, I would assume it was in Pennsylvania if I did this shit. In his complaint, Phil alleges cause of action sounding in tort, including defamation, libel, slander, libel per se, false lie, intentional interference with contractual relationships, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. I even think he might have a good run at the intentional infliction of emotional distress. You remember the streams they were doing where they're like, oh, we're going to cause him to crack. He's going to lose it. Look what he's doing. We did this. We drove him that way. We did this. Like, literally, they were trying to say that Phil was like manic posting or panicking or whatever, having a meltdown, and then taking responsibility for it. I mean, I guess they paid for Nick an advertising campaign for his website. Phil argues that Nick collectively engaged in false, defamatory, and malicious publications and broadcast on billboard postings, social media, and radio, which declare that plaintiff is a convicted a pedophile, a fraud, a sexual groomer of minors, and that he had a sexual relationship with a girl when he was 25 and she was 15. More specifically, Phil alleges that defendants followed the lawsuit that Phil filed against the Scranton Times of Chris Kelly and continued a torrent of defamatory publication stating that Phil had sex with a minor. A true and accurate copy of Chris Kelly's February 2021 Scranton Times article is attached hereto and marked as Exhibit B. Phil alleges that Nick have referred to plaintiff as a pedo, a pedophile, a fraudster, a grifter, a criminal, a convicted pedophile, and have also produced, disseminated, and advertised an entire film featuring Phil entitled "The Greatest Fraud on Earth, Walking." Plaintiff Phil's complaint also contains a dozen paragraphs that appear to personally insult and attack Nick. Phil's complaint also contains a dozen paragraphs that appear to personally insult and attack Nick. Collectively, Phil argues that these purported defamatory statements were made maliciously and recklessly, placing Phil's business in jeopardy and otherwise causing him personal injuries, including depression, anxiety, isolation, insomnia, irreparable damage to their reputation, and loss of standing in the community. So normally I'd be like, oh, bullshit, prove it, right? Bullshit, this is the internet. Everybody knows shit's going on. This happens, that happens. But these idiots went on podcast and bragged about it. No one will ever see Phil the same. Everybody will know the truth. Look, he can't sleep. Look, he can't post. Look how upset he is. Look how crazy he is. Oh, he's probably depressed now. Like, they went online and bragged about what they did to him. In all of this depression, anxiety, isolation, insomnia, irreparable damage to their reputation, and loss of standing in the community, they went on and bragged about it. And told everybody it was them that did it. I can't wait till these fucking these live streams get shown to the judge, or I think Nick's lawyer better be watching them. However, Phil's complaint is silent as to what specific business has been in jeopardy. As of December 22nd, 2022, the Pennsylvania State Real Estate Commission revoked plaintiff's associate broker license and broker and multi-license for 5 years due to Phil's guilty pleas to charges of tampering with records and bad checks. A true and correct copy of the Commission's 12/22/22 order is attached hereto, incorporated herein, marked as Exhibit C. Beginning as early as 2018, Phil began using social media to broadcast several theories surrounding QAnon, accompanied often by his own personal thoughts and beliefs. I know they're not going to try to use Nick to make Phil look unstable because the Q stuff. Because that's what Nick does. This is two cast iron skillets in fucking court screaming that the other one's black. Oh, no. By 2021, Phil had established himself within the QAnon community, cultivating followers numbering in the hundreds of thousands. Phil used his newfound online popularity and self-proclaimed messianic influence to make over $1 million in advertising revenue and content-based subscriptions, including soliciting multi-level marketing schemes to his followers. Now, all these have annotations. Like 5 says, one of the most successful multi-level marketing schemes recommended by plaintiff involved the purchase and sale of silver 7K metals. This method involves the upline or upside down V recruiter profiting off the downline or base recruits, sales, and subsequent recruitment of additional downline recruits. 6, Will Sommer. 4, plaintiff states that his popularity and newfound wealth during this period was his reward from God for helping us get where we are. And once it concludes, God would reward him for the rest of his life, and that is what he has done. 3, Ramirez. 2, QAnon influencer sues newspaper. 1, originating in 2017, QAnon is a far-right American. Okay, so that's the definition of the QAnon movement. Wikipedia. Phil admits as much in his complaint, calling himself a public figure with a large following. 21. In early 2021, Chris Kelly of the Scranton Times-Tribune published an editorial entitled QAnon Realtor Sells Rabbit Holes on YouTube. Mr. Kelly's article read in part, in 2011, the former Riverside High School baseball coach plaintiff, Phil, pled guilty to corruption of a minor and admitted to having a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old girl. Lackawanna County detectives said Phil had sex with the girl in cars and homes he had access to as a real estate agent. Phil, 28 at the time, was sentenced to 3 to 23 months, with the first 3 months to be served under house arrest and the balance as probation. Last February, Phil was charged with theft by deception, forgery, and related charges. Police said Phil kited a check to an area building supplier and forged bank statements to cover it up. I don't think this is all being litigated right now. I don't know that how successful they're going to be using this to get the case dismissed, but here we go. See Defendants Exhibit B. Upon reviewing Mr. Kelly's editorial, Phil brought a 5-count civil lawsuit against him. The paper's executive editor and the corporate owners of the Lackawanna County Court of Common Pleas docketed at number 2021 CV 2195 Times Tribune lawsuit. As fact discovery progressed during the Times Tribune lawsuit, more information regarding Phil's past criminal activity was revealed, including Phil's prior criminal convictions, guilty plea colloquies, and the sworn testimony of Phil, his ex-wife Dory, and Bree, the girl with which Phil allegedly had sex with when she was 15 years old. A true and accurate copy of Bree's October 31st, 2022 affidavit is attached here too and marked as Exhibit J. In her Halloween Day 2022 affidavit, Bree testified that she engaged in approximately a year-long sexual relationship with Phil beginning when she was 15-year-old freshman at Riverside High School and he was 25-year-old, where plaintiff purchased her gifts and communicated with her regularly. Bree also testified that Phil continued to speak with her after he was charged with 8 criminal counts, urging her to stop cooperating with Lackawanna County District Attorney's Office and threatening suicide if Bree testified against him, prompting her to stop cooperating in the investigation. 3 years later, they resumed their sexual relationship when Bree was of legal age to consent. Upon review of Bree's 2022 affidavit, plaintiff Phil brought 2-count civil lawsuit against Bree in Lackawanna County Court of Common Pleas, docketed at number 2023 CV 1354. The DeBorgel lawsuit. On May 3rd, 2023, Bree's counsel filed her answer to plaintiff's complaint with a new matter and a 6-count counterclaim to which she attached an affidavit dated March 28th, 2023. A true and correct copy of Bree's 2023 affidavit is attached here too and marked as Exhibit K. In support of her testimony, Bree attached over 2,300 textual. What? I've never seen the word textual messages in my life. I mean, I'm sure it's a real word. It sounds like a real word. It sounds like a company, really. Textual messages purportedly exchanged between her and Phil over a 2-week period from February 24, 2010 through March 12th of 2010. This information made public by the parties, various filings in the Times Tribune and Bree lawsuits, coupled with Phil's notoriety in the QAnon universe and related outspoken opinions, attracted national attention, culminating in several articles about plaintiff, his criminal past, conspiracy theorist present, and litigious future. Next. Yeah, this is just, they're just setting the groundwork here. Almost immediately, these articles went viral, exponentially disseminated and shared by thousands of users on dozens of national and international online communities, and becoming a matter of public record and concern. Nick, a documentary filmmaker, well, that's used very loosely, and fellow outspoken social media figure, came to know about Phil during this time. The perceived irony in reconciling Phil's present interest in QAnon with his criminal past seemed to Nick the perfect subject for a documentary film. Oh, really? When? When did that seem like? Did you get where he defended him? Do you specifically have the quote of him saying, "I'm not calling Phil a pedophile because I don't think he is"? Do you have that message that Nick sent in his Telegram community? It specifically says, "I'm not calling Phil a pedophile because I don't think he is." This was, what, 3 days before he decided to make a movie? Weird. So he made one. The Greatest Fraud on Earth, the Phil Godlewski story, is a film created and directed by Nick and produced by Good Line that includes scenes depicting Phil's own words, postings, and videos intercut with visual and audio depictions of the evidence produced during the Times Tribune and Bree lawsuits, respectively. Nick also participated in general online discussion and commentary regarding plaintiff regarding Phil as a public figure on several social media accounts. This is what's going to fucking kill him. Nick participated in general online discussion and commentary. No. It's, first of all, it's not just general. They did targeted live streams to promote the video and talk about how they were destroying Phil. How he couldn't post, how he's manic, how he's depressed, how no one would ever fucking work with him again, no one would ever speak to him again. They wanted everybody in his community to know. They wanted that Phil didn't have custody of his kids because he tried to fuck them. They went too far. They went too fucking far. Is there any proof that Phil sent any refunds to Nick supporters? Yes. I haven't seen proof that he refunded everybody asked for a refund, but I've seen proof that he refunded some people. This public information served as a basis for Nick's conduct Phil cites as wrongful in his complaint. Taken together, information divulged and publicized in Phil's other lawsuits defeat his request for civil damages in this lawsuit. I don't think anywhere in Phil's other lawsuits does it say anything about him donating to a GoFundMe for a sick child as a deposit to fuck that kid in 3 or 4 years. Now, I may have missed it, but I didn't see it. Put another way, Phil's failure to articulate his specific injury caused by Nick in this lawsuit, coupled with the public information revealed in Phil's prior lawsuits, resulted in Phil's inability to show the basic 3 elements of each alleged tort: wrongful conduct, causation, damages. Motion to dismiss. Defendants reallege, and incorporate the allegations made in paragraphs 1, 30 through 38, supra, as if more fully set forth at length herein. Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12B2 authorizes a defendant to move to dismiss a complaint with lack of personal jurisdiction. When raised as a jurisdictional defense, the plaintiff bears a burden, Phil bears the burden of establishing the court's personal jurisdiction over the moving defendant. Without holding an evidentiary hearing, the plaintiff meets this burden by establishing a prima facie case of personal jurisdiction, or by establishing with reasonable particularity sufficient contracts between the defendant and the forum state. He's got plenty of contracts between the defendant for the billboards. Further, the ultimate burden remains on the plaintiff, Phil, to demonstrate the existence of jurisdiction by a preponderance of the evidence. Nick, defendant's joint and or individual contacts with the forum of Pennsylvania are so scant, minimal, and unfocused that this honorable court's exercise of personal jurisdiction over them violates their respective constitutional due process rights and offends traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. This is kind of a moot point. First of all, they literally targeted Pennsylvania, right? That was their go-to. They bought all the billboards, mobile billboards, flyers, postcards, daring Phil to come out, posing in front of them, taking pictures with all their community, talking about how everybody in his town would know about it, everybody in Pennsylvania would know about all that. But even if this holds up, what, you're just going to go lose in Tennessee? You're already there. You might as well go to court there, Nick. I mean, it's not like if you win on jurisdiction that Phil's not going to sue you wherever the fuck you want to be sued. Moreover, Nick and Goodline contacts with the forum state of Pennsylvania do not provide to them an adequate fair warning that they may be subject to suit therein. I'm pretty sure that Phil gave these people warning over warning after warning after warning that he was going to take this to court. Now, again, if it had just been the movie, I think we have a completely different case here. But it's not just the movie. It's everything around the movie. Nick and Goodline have such minimum contacts with the forum state of Pennsylvania such that they could not reasonably foresee being held into court therein, having engaged in no deliberately focused activities towards same.
Life Isa Gift 1 just gifted 10 subs.
Thank you, Life's a Gift 1. I appreciate it for the gifted subs. Thank you very much. Guys, if you want to support the stream, if you like what we do, you want to keep it going, go to coldbeer.fund. Coldbeer.fund. If you pull it up on your phone, these will be in the middle. If you're on your computer, they're on the left-hand side. You got Buy Me a Coffee, join our Patreon, gift, Gun and Bomber, Dono Clip, where you record the audio or video, or the anonymous donate button at the bottom. If you're on your computer, they're on the left-hand sides. That's how you contribute to the show. If you're on your phone, they'll be in the middle, about halfway down. Starting at Buy Me a Coffee and going all the way down to this yellow unmarked donate button. That's how you contribute to the show if you want to keep it going. As such, this honorable court lacks general, specific, and effective personal jurisdiction over Nick and Goodline jointly and or individually, and Phil's complaint should be dismissed as a matter of law pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b2. Wherefore, defendants Eduardo Nicholas Alvira Gonzalez, a.k.a. anybody that has this many AKAs, never fucking trust them, okay? It's not even like he has other names. He's just reordering his first 5 names. Never trust them. It's not worth it. Eduardo Nicholas Alvira Gonzalez, a.k.a. Alvira Gonzalez, Eduardo Nicholas, a.k.a. Nicholas Alvira, and Goodline TV, LLC. There's probably about 5 more they didn't mention the federal courts did when he was a J6er. By and through their counsel, Rothenberg Campbell respectfully moved to dismiss plaintiff's complaint for lack of personal jurisdiction pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12b2 and seek an order from this honorable court granting their motion to dismissing plaintiff's complaint entirely for want of personal jurisdiction. That's their first claim. You don't have jurisdiction. He can't be brought to court in Pennsylvania because he doesn't have any contacts in Pennsylvania. He doesn't live in Pennsylvania. He doesn't do nothing here. Bullshit, but still. Defendants reallege and incorporate the rest of the paragraphs. Under Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12b6, the court dismisses a complaint in whole or in part if the plaintiff fails to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Cases. To survive a motion to dismiss, a complaint must contain sufficient factual matter accepted as true to state a claim to relief that is plausible on its face. In deciding a motion to dismiss, courts within the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit must follow 3 steps. Sorry, I got lost. Must follow 3 steps. 1, take note of the elements the plaintiff must plead to state a claim. 2, identify allegations that, because there are no more than conclusions, are not entitled to the assumption of truth. And 3, assume the veracity of all well-pleaded factual allegations and determine whether they plausibly give rise to an entitlement for relief. So make sure all the elements are there to plead to state a claim. Like this is the claim I'm making. identify the allegations that, because they are no more than conclusions, are not to be assumed as the truth. And then you take the allegations that are left and say, okay, do these seem like these would actually get through the court system and give this person a win or not? Basically, did you make a claim? Throw out the claims that are just frivolous, and then take the other ones, and then you judge the veracity. How true are they? And will they likely end up with this person winning? That's the 3 steps. Count 1's defamation. 2, false light invasion of privacy. And 5, defamation by innuendo. A plaintiff's complaint must be dismissed because Nick's statements and related publications cited therein are true, not defamatory, and are protected under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. This is a lie, okay? Some of Nick's statements are true, sure. We have everybody in my chat, and whether you want to admit it or not, over there in the fucking good line den, right? You've all seen Nick make false claims about Phil. Phil does have custody of his kids. And even if he didn't, it's not because he was trying to fuck them. He didn't put a deposit down to fuck a baby, right? Like y'all are crazy. You can't claim that and then say, that's true. My defense is it's true. Alternatively, Phil, a public figure speaking about matters of public concern, is unable to prove by clear and convincing evidence that Nick's alleged defamatory statements are false or published with actual malice. Now, it's almost like Nick and his friends are a literal, actual malice machine. When they do a podcast, they're like, fuck this. I did it because I hate that guy. When they start do a Q&A, they're like, fuck him. I want to ruin his whole life. I don't want him to ever make another dime off anybody. Like, they are an actual malice machine. I've never seen anything like it. Go find me Chris Kelly from the Scranton Times somewhere saying, fuck Phil. I only wrote the article because I hate him. I bet you won't, but I could probably spend 5 minutes with Nick saying, well, he cost me some money and fuck him. I want him to suffer. I want him to fail. I want him to have a mental breakdown. I fucking hate him because he said that over and 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 over again. Not only are these motherfuckers so wild about Phil, anybody who asks them a question, they claimed that me and Pebbles were pedos. For literal no reason whatsoever. Because I asked Nick why he was defending Phil then attacking Phil. They're like, better keep an eye on those pedos over there at Cold Beer. What? What are you talking about? And then when asked for any proof of any of the claims they've made about me, Dr. Zipperlicker says, it's a narrative war. Proof? You want proof? I don't need any proof. It's a narrative war, so I just say it. That was an exact quote from him. Will's arguing with people that he isn't paid off by Phil. He's saying, show me some proof. I don't need proof. It's a narrative war. I just say it. So I'm sure this is all going to hold up real well in court. We've seen their research. It's copy and paste my research. But then they had to be the cool kids who just went above and beyond and just started making shit up. Nick did say, also, have you seen 15-year-olds nowadays or even back then? Talking about 2010. That was another quote from Nick. It's pretty fucked up. I said something to him on Twitter in the first. That's their go-to, right? They just called anybody who questioned them at all. I saw some old lady who's only made like 3 tweets in her whole fucking life. Was like, people were hassling them over the receipts for the billboards, and this lady's like, "Well, I donated to the billboards. Hope it went to a good cause." They're like, "You fucking pedo, blocked. Good job. That's a fake account for Will." And it was just some old lady that literally had posted like 3 times in her life. Like, it's crazy. Alternatively, Phil, a public figure speaking about matters of public concern, is unable to prove by clear and convincing evidence that Nick's alleged defamatory statements are false and published with actual malice. Now, again, the actual malice is going to be easy to prove, and their false statements are going to be easy to prove. Maybe it's not 90% of the movie or 100% of the fucking movie, but everything surrounding the movie, I've heard them just make up shit again and again and again. And I know that it's made up because in their movie, they use my research, right? It was the copy and paste crew. In the movie, they use my research and court documents that anybody could find, right? And when they left the movie, when it wasn't on a script, they just made shit up about Phil, about me, about all of you guys in my chat, about my wife, about Pebbles, about anybody associated with me. So what they're making it up about Phil, we can see Phil has joint custody of his kids. That's the dumbest thing they could have fucking said. That would have taken like 5 fucking minutes to figure it out. Okay. More cited cases. Counts 3, torturous interference with business relationships, and 4, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Phil's complaint should be dismissed because plaintiff, Phil, is unable to prove that Nick and Goodline wrongful conduct or that such conduct is causally related to Phil's injuries, which, as written, consist of pure speculation and are insufficiently specific and otherwise unrecoverable under law. I'm going to be honest with you. If you had someone, let's take Phil out of it. Take Phil out of it. Let's just say you had someone claim that you were a pedophile on the internet. And then they show up in your town renting billboards and passing out postcards that you're a pedophile. Do you not think that you would have stress or depression or be afraid to fucking leave your house or worried that someone was going to show up at your fucking house when all that's public information?
Merbird gifted Kristen_Ferguson a subscription. Merbird gifted a tier 1 sub to Kristen_Ferguson. They have given
if it was just you, just give away, forget about Phil. If it was just you and someone was doing that all over your hometown, it shouldn't be hard for him to prove that he had any type of emotional distress or he was fucking depressed or anxious or freaking. I would. Like, I'm going to tell you, if someone did that and then fucking peppered my town with leaflets and all my shit was public, hell yeah, I would. Right, stop donating subs. I am fussing it. Stop it. I pay $10. Somebody else could pay $4 and donate a sub, but I pay over $10 every time you do it. Just stop. Just stop. We're done. Causally related to plaintiff's injuries, which as written consists of pure speculation, insufficiently specific, and otherwise unrecoverable under the law. Put differently, Nick's and Goodline's statements and related publications cited in Phil's complaint are privileged, justified, constitutionally protected, and not the type of conduct so outrageous in character and so extreme in degree as to go beyond all possible bounds of decency and to be regarded as atrocious and utterly intolerable in a civilized society. Okay, you go into work and you're sitting at the lunch table beside your buddy Tim, okay? And someone comes in and says, hey, Tim, I heard you don't have custody of your kids because you like to fuck them. Ain't that right, you pedophile? Do you think that would just be acceptable in the public eye? Do you think anybody would be like, oh, that doesn't go outside the bounds of decency? That's just a normal Tuesday. Everybody comes in and accuses Tim of fucking his kids with no proof and says that he doesn't have custody of them. You can't do that. You can't do it.
Susanio17 Abnig just gifted 5 subs.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So the reason I don't let Mariah donate subs is because subs are $5 a piece. I get $2.50 for them. I got that $2.50, paid taxes on it. Then she makes it $5, donates a sub. I get $2.50 of that back and pay taxes on it again. It ended up costing me over $11 to donate a single sub, or almost $11 to donate a single sub. It's silly for Mariah to donate subs. I don't know why she keeps doing it. That's well beyond outside the bounds of decency. It would be atrocious, intolerable in a civilized society. You wouldn't let someone say that about you or your husband or your friend or your sister or your brother. It's literally intolerable. Intolerable. That's the definition of it. You wouldn't tolerate that. That's crazy. As such, feels, what is that word? Quinary? Not coronary. They must have a new quinary. They must have a new dictionary. I haven't seen it. Quinary. As such, Phil's quinary. Complaint must be dismissed in whole or in part for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted pursuant to 12b-6. Quinary, I guess, would just be the 5th in order, right? Hold on. They like all these. They like all these different ways to say first, second, third, and fifth, don't they? Arranged by fives, consisting of fives. Okay, yeah, it just means his 5th complaint. Wow, what a weird way to say it. Wherefore, defendants Eduardo Nicholas Alvear Gonzalez, a.k.a. Alvear Gonzalez Eduardo Nicholas, a.k.a. Nicholas Alvear, and Goodline TV, LLC, by and through their counsel, Rothenberg and Campbell, respectfully move to dismiss Phil's complaint for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b-6 and seek an order from this honorable court granting their motion and to dismiss and dismissing Phil's complaint in whole or in part. So I don't think they're going to get that one either. I understand, like, this is basically like file everything. Hell, the judge might pick one of them, right? The judge might pick one of them and might throw it out for some reason. Maybe. Okay, they're going to include, this is alternatively motion to strike paragraphs 41, 44, and 53 through 63. So alternatively, if you don't throw this out, if you don't throw the case out, alternatively to dismissing, we want to strike paragraphs 41, 44, 53 through 63 of plaintiff's complaint pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12F. So 12F just basically says that anybody can make a motion to strike. I think it on purpose says the court may strike from a pleading an insufficient defense or any redundant, immaterial, impertinent, or scandalous matter. The court may act on its own or on a motion made by either party before responding to the pleading. Oh, thank you. 600.
Cause I'm drinking.
I appreciate it.
I'm a little bit drunk.
A little celebration going on there.
Drinking.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the donation. This is, so it says in the Rules of Civil Procedures that it has to be a motion made by either party before responding to a pleading, or if a response is not allowed within 21 days after being served.
Beachside_summer just subscribed.
Thank you for the subscription. It has to be before responding. This is with a response. I wonder if that makes a difference. It says the court can strike something on its own or on a motion made by a party either before responding or if a response is not allowed 21 days after being served with a pleading. It's kind of weird that it's in here. This it feels like, looking at the rules of civil procedure, it feels like this should have been filed separately before making any type, I don't know. Pursuant to Rules of Civil Procedure 12F, a court, quote, may strike from pleading any redundant, immaterial, impertinent, or scandalous matter, FRCP 12F. The burden rests with the moving party. So the moving party.
I got a small dick,
Thank
but
you.
wait till it get hard. She gonna be like, damn, shit, my God.
Hashtag save Mer Bird. She knows better. She doesn't need to be saved. She just needs to stop. The moving party is the person who files the motion, and the non-moving party is the other one. So it doesn't matter defendant or plaintiff. The moving party is the person who files the motion, no matter what. So it says the burden rests with the moving party, which would be Nick, to show that the challenged matter should be stricken by demonstrating that the matter falls within one of the categories listed in 12F. What are the categories listed in 12? There are no categories listed in 12F. Oh, I guess it's insufficient defense, any redundant, immaterial, impertinent, or scandalous matter. Okay. Immaterial. Matter is that which has no essential or important relationship to any claims for relief. That would be immaterial. Impertinent. Matter consists of statements that do not pertain and are not necessary to the issues in question. Okay. Scandalous. Matter is that which casts a derogatory light on someone, uses repulsive language, or detracts from the dignity of the court. So, if it doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about, it doesn't pertain to what we're specifically the issues in question, or it's scandalous. I guess everybody knows what scandalous means. It's scandalous in some way, then that's the reason why. Oh, thank you for the I just got another donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Through PayPal. Now let's see what their argument is. Paragraphs 41, 44, 53 through 63. So 2 here and then 10 there. Or 11. 53, 63, 73, 83. Yeah, 11. Plaintiff's complaint are crass and neither importantly relate nor pertain to Phil's quinary claims for relief. His 5 claims for relief. Therefore, paragraphs 41, 44, and 53 through 63, including Exhibit 4, should be stricken pursuant to Rule 12F as immaterial, scandalous, and or impertinent. Oh, wait, are they not going to share it? Are they not going to share it? Let's go read it. Hold on. Ba-ba-ba. PG. I'm sure it's attached down below, but I don't want to lose my place. So I'm going to go grab the other one right quick. You have to give me a minute. Extensions granted. Entry of appearance. Request for extension. Request for entry of judgment. No. Motions for preliminary injunction. Default judgment denied. To remove Goodline Films. That's a new motion. Case order PDF. Let's see this one. Stipulated case management. Oh, no. This is from a different one. Hold on. Federal complaint. That's got to be it, right? 41. Paragraphs 41. 41. I don't want to lose my place. It's 41, 44, and then start at 53. So 41. Says, so let's read 40 first. Defendants grossly and recklessly departed from accepted journalistic standards before defaming Mr. Godlewski. Now, 41 says, had defendants adhered to accepted journalistic standards, they would have discovered that Bree, the former 15-year-old, has admitted numerous times that Mr. Godlewski never had sex with her. Some of these admissions have been attached and incorporated as Exhibit 3. So they're saying to leave this out. If they would have interviewed Bree, or if they would have done their research, they would have found that there's been multiple times that she said they did not have sex. 44. Let's read 43 first. Defendants knowingly and maliciously defamed Mr. Godlewski to thousands of people and continue to do so. 44. This is the one they want struck. If Alvear were an honest journalist with a modicum of integrity, he would have reported that a misdemeanor was the only charge Mr. Godlewski was ever guilty of. I could see where they're coming from trying to get those struck. Let's read the 53 through 63. I don't know if it'll work, but I can see what they're saying. They're like, Phil's attorneys don't need to tell Nick what he should have done, what he could have done, that's stuff that they could have said in court, or better yet, ask Nick about it and have him admit it in court in front of a jury. Like, oh, did you talk to Bree? Did you ask her about the times that she did this or said that? Did you do this? Did you do that? That's stuff they ask. Like, they already asked Chris Kelly from the Scranton Times. They already asked him these things. Um, 53 through 63. So 52 says, or let's back up to 50. The film doubles down on the defamatory statement Supra. On February 13, 2024, plaintiff discovered billboards publishing some of this defamatory data. The next day, the Phil's attorney sent a letter to the billboard company pointing out its defamatory content and demanding that they be taken down immediately, which they were. Now, this is the part they want taken out. Defendant Alvear has postured himself as some medical guru selling an item called Ari Detox, which he sells for $116.25. Alvear has represented to his followers as a cure for autism and ADHD. It is no such thing. It makes children sick. While Alvear defames plaintiff, calls him a pedophile, and contends that plaintiff does not care about children, which is entirely untrue, Nick, by selling Ari Detox, exploits without any conscience sick children and the parents to take care of them. Ari Detox does absolutely nothing for children, and there have been numerous testimonies that it has harmed the children to whom it has been applied. Further, when these parents requested a refund, they could not contact anyone on the website or elsewhere to get one. Alvear has also created fraudulent testimonials to promote and sell Ari Detox. Alvear's enterprise is promoting and selling Ari Detox, is criminal to its core, and it is submitted a violation of the conditions of his probation. Specifically, Alvear has violated the United States Food and Drug Administration, FDCA 21 USC 301, by improperly promoting and marketing Ari Detox for the cure, mitigation, or treatment. This is a big deal. Nick thinks, I understand why they want this struck, right? This is not pertinent, is what they're going to say. Nick thinks that by saying that it treats the symptoms, that he's outside the FDA's rule on drugs. The law says that you can't say it cures, mitigates, or treats. You can't even say this treats that. You can't even say this treats that. This treats the symptoms of that. You cannot say that. If you're going to say that, you're classifying whatever you're selling as a drug, and it needs to go through clinical trials and be approved by the FDA, which is a good thing. We don't want people selling fucking bleach as a cure for this or even to treat this, and then people are drinking fucking bleach and going blind. right? This is a good thing to get these things approved. I know people are going to scream big pharma and this and patents and that. Would you rather be back to everybody selling a cure for everything and no one knows what's true? Anyways, there's one more paragraph. Mitigation or treatment of autism and ADHD, thereby rendering those products misbranded and unapproved new drugs. Alvear is a convicted felon currently on probation, and his criminal information is attached and incorporated as Exhibit 4. So they want all of that removed, including Exhibit 4. Now, if we scroll down to Exhibit 4, Jesus, these messages are so bad. We did a 5-week onslaught.
But wait till it get home. She gonna be like, damn, shit, my God.
Court document nights are my favorite. Appreciate your work. Thank you. I think I'm good at explaining them. I know that a lot of people get pissy over on Telegram, and they're like, we just read court documents. Well, you didn't understand them, motherfuckers. I've seen you guys fucking misinterpret them again and again and again and again. Oh, these are bad. Because there was overwhelming interest in contributing to a billboard campaign, we have created a fundraiser for those who can and wish to participate. Here are the details and rules. We will be running a mobile static digital billboard campaign along with a cable TV and radio campaign in Scranton, Wilkesboro next week to promote the launch of The Greatest Fraud on Earth. Nick is putting up $2,500 of his own money. This is more than anyone would spend on a film like this when we have a bunch of free platforms to promote it on, but we want the buzz to be loud in his backyard for several reasons. What state would Phil's backyard be? What state would Phil's backyard be? Pennsylvania. I thought they never directed anything towards Pennsylvania. Do not donate if you can't afford it. We are not Phildo, and we do not want to hurt anyone beyond their financial means. We are doing this to give those who participate in the takedown of Phildo, but don't have the time or bandwidth, something other ways. We have received, Jesus. Make no mistakes, they are all still at war psychologically, physically, and spiritually. They just haven't shot one bullet at the U.S. Some things optically, I would say, is movie time. The lower levels and lower minions are still out there. So what does Satan do? He corrupts and infiltrated with half-truths and a spirit of deception. Psychological help, 5 cents. That's got Phil on it. So what? Trump had no gold fringes. Cool. My mom had no gold fringes. That makes she her president. Good line says, little silver bird tells me Phil is losing some important gigs. I wonder if it's true. People are talking in the den about it. Bro, you got it. What is wrong with you, Nick? Yeah, the film didn't cost him anything to produce. I mean, I guess he paid the editor, right? He paid that editor. And he has a monthly subscription to his stock footage shit, but that's it. What is wrong with Nick? Literally, they're like, Phil can't prove that he lost any business because of us. Nick says, I heard Phil is losing business because of us. This means a domino effect will happen, and this fuck will stop grifting them 401ks away. Justice smells good this Tuesday evening. Y'all are so fucking dumb. Y'all are so fucking dumb. The greatest fraud on earth, the Phil Godlewski story. Welcome back home, pedo fuck. At least they were nice about it. Phildo flyers being distributed in Maui and his neighborhood. It's important that the locals know who this creepy outsider really is. The best way to do that is to get them to see the film. We have attached the 5x7 postcard files in case you want to print some out. The film is a smash hit, and we are getting invited on some pretty massive platforms. The truth about Phil is spreading. Amazing show today with some juggernauts. Can't even get one follower on his sock accounts. This is just sad. I dig it. We did a 5-week onslaught on Phildo via podcast, parodies, and Script Keeper 17's battle rap. God damn, that guy is pitiful. All to set the table for the kill shot of the greatest fraud on earth by @Goodline TV, which has now been seen by hundreds of thousands, if not millions. In short, with the help of many, It says, who is allowed to trash Phildo? That makes him a hypocrite. Y'all stole his platform, so he's pissed. Should I say made his platform better than it was? I used to watch Will, but he got boring. It was the same old shit every day. He trashed some of the ones that were telling the truth, I guess. That one was about me. Who's the motherfucking captain now? Sure ain't you, molester of a 15-year-old girl. Tags all of his people. Dead Men Walking. Conservative Daily with Joel Altman. It says he's the writer and director of The Greatest Fraud on Earth, and Dr. Z is the producer. Of course. Phil Godlewski is a nasty pedophile. Pass it on. That's Oliver's mom right there. Someone better check up on Phil's kids. He fucked with the wrong marketing geniuses. All you did was grift money to market Nick. It had nothing to do with Phil. Have you all thought about what this will do to his children? Just wondering. Phil's sock accounts. Have you thought about what he has done to his children and Carrie's? Don't deflect the blame from the pedo here. We gave him an offer to walk away quietly. He fucked up. That'll go well in court right there, I'm sure. Phildo Faggins is trying to get an injunction to stop the people from seeing the truth about his limp, phallus, and pedophilic ways. It is unlawful and will not work. Nevertheless, pedo hunters never back down. When we get threatened, we accelerate. As such, Goodline TV has made The Greatest Fraud on Earth available to download for free. Take this movie as your own and share it everywhere. He can never stop all of us. Nothing can stop what is coming, all over his plastic teeth. New Exhibit 2. Phil pleads guilty to 8 charges, including sexual assault. He convinces minor to not testify. Phil then retracts his guilty plea. He's given corruption of a minor charge to plea. Megan's Law passes just shortly after, so he didn't have to register. Pled guilty for corrupting a minor. In this case, found on text record from his victim's phone, Phil was incredibly filthy and nasty and fucked her in many vacant homes for sale. He was doing real estate back then. Pedophile definition, someone sexually attracted to minors or children. Phil pled guilty to corruption of a minor. Phil Godlewski is a pedophile. I repeat, the grifter QAnon wannabe. Phil Godlewski is a pedo. Prove me wrong, I'll wait. Death penalty for pedophiles in the comments. I think you're a better person than this. There's no reason for fighting between truthers, and it only causes people to think twice of trusting any truther. Be a better person and cease bad comments and ridiculing others. This says, X22 Dave, I'm talking to you. I hope you enjoyed the program because pretty soon it's going to be called Phil22. The guy is high on his own supply. And thanks for your committing crimes for calling out his pedophilic tendencies. X22 is still thriving, Phildo Faggins. Such a short-term memory your followers have. The griftiest grifter. By the way, I got a fantastic new title for the film on Phil, all based on journalistic discovery. The Greatest Fraud on Earth. Let's see him dance silly to that one. Chaz isn't afraid of Phil. Phil is afraid of Chaz. He threatened... Only demented narcissist Phil Fraud Low Skeet would corrupt a minor and have sex with her multiple times, taking advantage of her vulnerability to bribe her with $50,000 to say it never happened. And after her refusal, sue her for testifying under oath, and he targeted and sexually assaulted her. Only deranged demon would do such a thing. Thankfully, she sued him back, and Scranton Times, along with Bree, don't just have their words. They have the text message proving it straight from Philip's text himself. What you are watching, folks, is the finale of the Griff Show. She will take... Here's the problem. Even if somehow they can do what basically the DA didn't do, what the Scranton Times is not going to do, right? The Scranton Times is trying to get out of it because it can't be proven. Even if they can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Phil had sex with a 15-year-old when he was 25, that doesn't cover everything outside their movie they did. Let's say Phil comes into court and admits it, says, you're right, I was 25-year-old, I fucked up, had sex with a 15-year-old, multiple houses, all that's right. That still doesn't prove the stuff they've said about his kids, about his family, about Carrie's kids, that still doesn't cover any of that. Any of that. Anyways, I was trying to find Exhibit 4. There's some really fucked up shit in here. But let me see if I can find Exhibit. That's Exhibit 2, Exhibit 3, because they want Exhibit 4 removed. Exhibit 4. His criminal charges. Okay. Admitted to violation of conditions, blah, blah, blah. You must refrain from any unlawful use of a controlled substance, mandatory condition. You must not knowingly leave the federal judicial district where you are authorized to reside without first getting some type of approval, I'm sure. So it's just his criminal charges. Permission from the court or probation officer. You must follow the instructions of the probation officer related to conditions of supervision. You must live at a place approved by the probation officer. If you plan to change where you live or anything about your living arrangements, such as the people you live with, you must notify the probation officer at least 10 days before the change. If notifying the probation officer in advance is not possible due to unanticipated circumstances, you must notify the probation officer within 72 hours of becoming aware of a change or expected change. So they want all of this removed because it's not pertinent. Which I can understand that claim, right? They want it all removed. Should be stricken pursuant to Rule 12F as immaterial, scandalous, and impertinent. Defendants Eduardo Nicholas Alvier Gonzalez, a.k.a. Gonzalez Eduardo Nicholas Alvier, and Goodline TV LLC, bind through their counsel, Rothenberg and Campbell, respectively move to strike paragraphs 41, 44, and 53 through 63, including Exhibit 4 of plaintiff's complaint pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12F, and seek an order of this honorable court granting their motion to strike the order, same stricken from plaintiff's complaint. Okay. Ryan P. Campbell. Now this motion, this is where they kind of already fill this out for the judge in case he wants to sign it. Exhibit A is... Oh, this is Nick's affidavit, I guess. Before me via Zoom teleconferencing service and the undersigned notary public this day virtually appeared Eduardo Nicholas Alvier Gonzalez, a.k.a. Nicholas Alvier, whose identity to me is known or satisfactorily proven, who being duly sworn to the law deposes the following. I, Eduardo Nicholas Alvier Gonzalez, a.k.a. Nick Alvier, pursuant to the pains and penalties of perjury, do swear and affirm as follows. My name is Eduardo Nicholas Alvier Gonzalez. I'm also known as Nicholas Alvier. I'm a citizen of the state of Tennessee, and I'm domiciled at 1009 8th Avenue South, City of Nashville, County of Davidson. I have personal knowledge of the facts herein, and if called as a witness, could and would testify completely and truthfully thereto. I'm over the age of 18 years and suffer no legal disabilities or infirmity. Wait, well, you didn't tell him that you're retarded? You didn't tell him that you're fucking retarded and you got to have that oil on your toes twice a day or whatever? It seems like that would be something that you should tell them. I'm just saying, I would tell them if it was me, I guess. Maybe you should. Maybe you should tell them. I don't know what the fuck is wrong. Mariah, why you didn't send me anything? Why'd you tell me to check my email if you didn't send me anything? Did you do the stupid Google Photos thing again? Hold on. Shut the whole damn show down for Mariah. Jesus Christ. Now there's going to be a leaked video of me coming home and beating your brains out. And then people are going to be like, look, Will's horrible. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I get it. Jesus. All right. I am a chief executive officer and duly authorized agent of Goodline TV LLC, which is a limited liability company, blah, blah, blah. The company's registered address or registered agent, and I have specific knowledge of the company's business activities, including where all taxes and income derived from same occurs, which is in my domiciled state of Tennessee. I operate as an online broadcaster and content creator on several different social media sites where I speak on matters of political, culture, and social public concern, and am familiar with Phil Godlewski, Mr. Godlewski, through his online presence and on the same and or similar social media websites. Yeah, she shared them through Google Photos. God, I want to hit her to my arm sore. Get it, zipper liquor. Hurry, get it quick. You're in between fucking hand jobs on Scott McKay, which is nice. You don't even have to bend over, but still. After reviewing several articles related to Mr. Godlewski's civil lawsuits filed in Lackawanna County, Pennsylvania against the Scranton Times-Tribune and Bree, respectively, as well as the documents filed in those cases and made available on Lackawanna County's public docket, including sworn affidavits of testimony of Bree, deposition hearing testimony of Mr. Godlewski and Dory, Mr. Godlewski's criminal record, and other public and or verified documents related to Mr. Godlewski's criminal history, I desired to make a documentary film about him working on the same throughout 2023. Now, we know this is a lie, right? He decided on Christmas Eve when he literally said that Phil told people to unsubscribe from him. And then he said, this is it. I'm going to have to do it. People unsubscribe. I got to make a documentary now. He was defending him before that. In early 2024, my company and I published The Greatest Fraud on Earth, the Phil Godlewski, a 70-minute documentary film investigating Mr. Godlewski's criminal history and current status as a social media broadcaster using information I gathered from various documents filed in his civil lawsuits and procured through the Lackawanna County Public Docket Service, as well as information culled from various news media articles that address Mr. Godlewski's civil lawsuits. I don't think you pulled any of these through the Lackawanna County Public Docket Service. I think someone else did. My company and I advertised the film mentioned in the above paragraph through social media channels and a small physical advertising campaign in Pennsylvania, including a poster depicting the film's title. You're just going to say, we advertise very little in Pennsylvania, including a poster? A poster? You're a liar. You're a fucking liar, dude.
Such a dick!
In your own deposition.
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead.
You're a fucking liar, dude. You're a fucking liar. Uh-oh.
Reload pill 78 GF X 700.
Who's that? What's happening?
It tells you laws and orders. Because
Damn
we're
it.
a nation of law
Damn
and
it,
order.
Derek Johnson.
Oh, all of a sudden. Oh, man, this guy.
Thank you, Red
Look
Pill.
at this guy. Oh, and look at him. He's all upset today. Not upset. Shoot, I sleep like a baby every night.
It was just a poster, guys. A small physical advertising campaign. By the way, Dr. Z described it as no one would spend this amount of money advertising a film like this. No one. That's what he said. No one would spend this type of money advertising a film like this, but they are, right? A small physical advertising campaign in Pennsylvania, including a poster depicting the film's title. A true and accurate depiction of one of these posters is attached here too and marked as Exhibit 1A. How do they make the granny dance? They don't. Why is that a real question? Is that a real question you have, Mariah? You can't make the granny dance. Only I can make the granny dance. A small advertising campaign in Pennsylvania. I am familiar with the allegations contained in Mr. Godlewski's complaint against me and my company filed on February 28, 2024 in the United States District Court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania, docketed to, I thought you were never served. Oh, here it is. Number 324 CV 00344, and am the person identified in the caption attached there too. Neither I nor my company or its agents have any physical office, connections, family members, friends, or other continued and or systemic presences in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You're not going to tell me that you don't have any customers there. Clearly you do. I would assume you have at least a customer from almost every state. Neither I nor my company or its agents have any employees, agents, or independent contractors employed in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, nor have I or my company paid any taxes to the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue related to any business dealings, contracts, or particular events occurring in the Commonwealth. That can't be true, right? He would have to pay taxes on the purchases he made. Right? The money that he sent from the GoFundMe was controlled by his business or directed at him. Neither I nor any of my agents of the company have ever physically visited the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania or have otherwise been physically present therein. You've never been to Pennsylvania? I don't believe you. Neither I nor my company or its agents have any further specific contracts with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, contacts with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, other than my social media posts, aforementioned poster sales. Poster sales. It was just poster sales, guys. And online sales of documentary films, including the aforementioned film about Mr. Godlewski, which are all available to everyone in the online community. Neither I nor my company or its agents have deliberately focused any respective business activities towards the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This is a fucking lie, dude. This is, he's not even being examined, right? This is him making a statement to his own lawyer, and his lawyer's telling him everything to say. This is a fucking lie. You 1,000% targeted Pennsylvania and fucking Hawaii. And did some shit in Havasu too, right? Pennsylvania, other than those mentioned herein, and neither reasonably foresaw Mr. Godlewski filing a civil lawsuit naming me or my company to defend the United States court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania. That's not true. Even Phil warned him that he was gonna file it. Yeah, it's just a 200-foot long poster, 300 foot in the air. Exhibit B. Wait, didn't it say the poster was attached? Attached as Exhibit 1A. I don't see it, though. 1.A. Exhibit B is the article. We've all seen the article. I've got a copy of it. Much better quality. Exhibit C. Before the State Real Estate Commission. Okay. That's Phil losing his license. He didn't show. He didn't respond. So he was supposed to, anytime you're in trouble and you hold a license, you should probably check because you're probably responsible for telling the licensing body, whoever governs that you were in legal trouble. He never told them. They sent some paperwork out saying, why didn't you tell us you're going to be in trouble? Then he never showed up for being in trouble, so they took him for 5 years, I think. Let's go to the next exhibit. That's still the real estate board. Everybody signed it. Oh, guilty plea colloquy is here too. For the check stuff, tampering with records. Oh, let's see how many years she was in college. 3+ years of college. It always changes. Phil's basically either barely passed 8th grade and dropped out, or he's got several doctorates. It's hard to tell. It's which guilty plea colloquy you catch him on this week. Hard to keep up with.
I am sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Statement under penalty. Pled guilty to the charges. I saw Huckleberry on there. Written a false statement. Okay. Purchase stag arms. Okay, this is all about the firearms. Okay, Exhibit D. Court of Common Pleas. Okay, these are the cases he was charged with. We've seen these. I'm just making sure there's nothing new in here. Exhibit E, kind of the same thing. More recent set, I guess. Exhibit F. Jesus Christ. Magisterial docket sheet or whatever. Exhibit G. Warrant for arrest. Commonwealth, Pennsylvania. Phil Godlewski. Cayuga Street. Magisterial District. Lackawanna. Police criminal complaint. Old Forge. They're changing his address. Old Forge. Brown, black, non-Hispanic. Felony, full. Mancuso. Uh-oh. In that, on or about January 2008 to present, the defendant, Phil Godlewski, did engage in sexual intercourse with a minor child, Bree, while said person being under the age of 16, 4 years more younger, 4 or more years younger, and not being married to the actor in violation of Section 3122.1 of the PA Crimes Code, felony second degree. To wit, the defendant, Godlewski, did engage in sexual intercourse with a female which he knew to be under the age of 16 years beginning in 2008 to present. That is the new count 1. It was originally count 7, but that is count 1. More charging documents we've all seen. Continuation of the documents. They have to redo the whole page even if only one of the charges goes over. Charge 7. The defendant, Godlewski, did engage in sexual intercourse with a minor child victim under the age of 16 years. Charge 7 becomes charge 1, and charge 1 is what he pled guilty to. Affidavit of probable cause. Children's Advocacy Center, that's the when they interviewed Bree. They got it all there. Corruption of minors is all he says. That's his guilty plea colloquy. College graduate. I think Phil's claim is he had his lawyer filled that out for him. He had no idea why his lawyer thought he went to college. Exhibit H. Oral deposition of Phil Godlewski taken Lackawanna County Bar Association 233. We've read this. It's interesting. It's very good. There's a blue watermelon in here somewhere. Tim, let me tell you. Imagine I brought in a watermelon.
Twinsy16 just resubscribed for 5 months.
Uh-oh, Twinsy16. Thank you very much for the resubscription. Okay, what we got? Exhibit I. Phil Godlewski versus Chris Kelly et al. Oral. This is Dory's testimony. We've read Dory's testimony. All this stuff is public. That $12,500 a month she gets for child support. If you or someone you know has been affected by Ondi, A-N-D-I, Ondi, OSIK, O-S-I-E-K, I think is how you spell it, and you want to be part of the, hey, this is who Ondi is, let's see what the fuck's going on, you can send that to coldbeerconfess@gmail.com. Reach out to my email address. Everybody's going to be held anonymous. I've probably had about 10 or so people reach out now through email or Telegram or some different way. If you want to reach out, if you've got information, I'm going to do a show on Ondi because it still seems like she's benefiting from Phil. And she was all good with Phil. Like his mod, banning people for question. Everything was great with Phil. Until the business split up. And then she's like, I was starting to question. I didn't believe this. I didn't believe that. It'd been nice if you'd have told those people you didn't believe it rather than just signing them up to your downline. But whatever. Bree's affidavit. Is this the one from Halloween? Exhibit J. The notorious Halloween affidavit of Bree. Exhibit K. Another one. Numerous text messages Phil Godlewski from my cell phone during the time period. I was 16 years old at the time the text messages were sent and received. Phil Godlewski was 26 around Christmas. He gave me a 2-page document, a true and correct copy here too. Phil Godlewski gave me Christmas presents with a 2-page document. That's the document where he's like this. Woke up, texted you immediately. Saw hair in bathtub drain. Thought of how much you shed. It's gross. That's the 2-page document. Here's the text messages. From pulled out of the cell phones. By the way, when Cliff High came out and said and told everybody like, "Oh, I've worked in data collection for 1 billion years, and what that means is this phone's never been registered. They've never, when it says not recognized, it just means they haven't pulled from this before." That's not true. There's actually a statement that we just recently saw from the guy who did it, and he's like, "Hey, the document didn't, or the cable didn't work. It wouldn't recognize it. So instead, we did this. We did a roundabout way of pulling all the text messages." I guess he made that up. I thought we were sitting here thinking about it before we even read Cliff's Twitter, and then we went and read it, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe that's true. But no, he just made all that up with all of his background. I've done this for 100 years, and that means that they've never pulled from this device before. That's not true. There's a statement saying it literally means that the program did not recognize it with the cable that we had. And with that cable, so we had to do another way where we just kind of pull them one by one rather than doing that. That motherfucker is so fucking full of himself or whatever. He commented on that video where I was like, I don't trust anything that Cliff High ever fucking says. So I'm not gonna go read his text message. This is somebody's like, go read Cliff High, go read Cliff High, go read his Twitter post. He talked, go read it. We didn't until a couple of days later, but I was like, I never trust him. And so he gave me health advice. His data said silver would be over $600 an ounce. Yeah. You know, before Cliff High became a Q-tard, he predicted the end of the world like 2 or 3 times from some computer program he has access to or whatever. Damn it, this is why it's 500 some pages. They included all the text messages. Okay, let's go here. Lots of text messages. God, those are some good text messages to read, though. Some of those are so fucking funny, dude. Some of these text messages were just outrageous. Okay. Phil versus Chris Kelly. Transcript of proceedings for the defendant. Direct, cross, direct. Dennis Chang. He would be the electronics expert. These are cross-examinations. Sexual relationship with Bree. No, I did not. Never did. I retract. Yes, I did. You did? Yes. And did you answer discovery in this case, falsely claim that you never had a relationship? I'm not sure. Okay, let's take a look at that. If we can, go to Exhibit Z. That's a summary page. If you can go to Exhibit D. Did you say B as in boy? No, Z. Exhibit Z. Victor. David. Z. Z as in zebra. Answer discovery. Relationship Bree. You know that's Bree DeBurgle. Nodding in the affirmative. Yes. At any time, do you see that question? Yes. In court, you can't nod. That's why she interrupted you. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Court. Okay. My answer was no. Okay. So you lied there. I believe I misunderstood the question because of the context. What's so confusing about that question? Do you not understand the words at any time? The question said, did you have a relationship with Bree at any time? And then he come out in court and was like, oh yeah, as adults we did. And then he gets the dates wrong. Oh, it was bad. Oh, it was bad. But we've covered that. It's pretty interesting. I don't have time to read all the fucking court documents tonight. But it's nice to have them all in one place, huh? Nick does 2 things really well. Actual malice and taking other people's shit and putting it together in one place for others. So there you go. There you go. $92 of 1. Okay, we're past it. There's 127 pages here, I think. No, more than that, 168, 69. Plaintiff's response to defendant's interrogatory set 5. That's the one where he still hasn't answered one of those. Did you have a sexual relationship with Bree at any time? Yes. If yes, when did you have a sexual relationship with her and how long did it last? Plaintiff had a sexual relationship with Bree for a month or two in 2018. Plaintiff does not recall specifics. Did you have a sexual relationship with blank at any time? No. Did you have a sexual relationship with Bree? Oh, that first one wasn't Bree. With Bree at any time? No. If yes, that's the question they're referring to. Certified Tim Coleman. Okay, kid, if you change your mind and want to hang out, let me know. Lots of stuff has been going on. I wanted to try to insulate you as much as possible, but I get the feeling you already know, so I'll back off. I'll be here if you want to meet up and chat. Damn it. No, Phil, no. Instant messages. It's Bree. The fuck. I just got the text you sent me that other phone is garbage. I'm only still using it before I transfer all my stuff over. Death of it. I wonder, could Bree have, when Bree came to Scranton Times, and that was kind of secret, right? Like, Phil didn't know that. Phil thought Bree was going to testify on his behalf. He even said, they're not ready for when the victim testifies on my behalf. I wonder if they would have set up a little sting operation. If I guess that probably wouldn't be allowed in court, would it? If they were like, again, how much were you going to pay me to lie about the Scranton Times? He's like, oh, $500,000 or whatever. And no, nothing really been going on aside from me aside from me doing an internship in basically 8 months. They've tried and done everything to piss me off and make me snap and hack into my shit and see if I can kick them out, and just the most extra thing I've ever experienced. I think we read all these. I think it might be fair to say that there is a very, very large, very, very unique financial opportunity that exists in front of you. Laugh out loud. The type of opportunity that happens to hardly anyone. Dude, I know it makes me want to throw up, and everyone knows but me. Mom can't look me in the eyes for more than 1 to 2 seconds. Why? Because everyone knows but me, it seems like. I don't think we're talking about the same thing, Miss DeBurgle. Laughed at it. Oh, are you trying to recruit me for your silver thing? No. He's talking about taking down the deep state through 401ks, guys. Okay, you can't actually advertise for Phil in my chat. I don't care if you're a Phil follower, but you can't advertise for Phil in my chat. That's 100% the opposite of what I've shown here for the last 3 years. I can't meet up or see anyone right now, but I'm going through some stuff physically, basically doing a cleanse of my system. We've seen all these. This is basically where he tries to offer her. It seems as if he's offering her money to lie on the witness stand. I have an opportunity that involves both of us, but it won't work with just one of us. I don't know which way to go until I speak with you, so remember me when you feel better. I agree, but it's a very delicate situation. Unless it is handled properly by both of us, we stand to benefit absolutely nothing, and there is a financial windfall here if handled properly. That's all I can really say through text. I don't trust those motherfuckers, and I'm literally foaming at the mouth to take them down once and for all. Phil doesn't even deny these are his text messages. He says that he was talking about the government. You're a good person, Bree. You don't deserve anything that's happened to you since we met all those years ago. And I think it's time to set the record straight and shove our collective middle fingers directly up their fucking assholes. Well, let's meet when you're ready, sooner rather than later. I miss you anyways. How you feeling, B? Listen, my friend, things are going to get very nice through the Scranton Times. I think you should know what's going on. I'd like to talk to you in person. I don't want you to be blindsided by any of this. I have your back, Bree. You should see what they're trying to do to me. It's absolutely awful. She kind of agrees with it. Her life being drug out. Let's meet and talk. I think we're mostly on the same page. We have to meet and talk, me amigo. Irregardless, we need to meet and speak. You need to know some stuff that you aren't aware of. Now, this, of course, is like he can't do this. He's going to court. He can't try to do this. Not really. We have to talk in person. It's not that, Bree. It's more than that. We have to meet because there's stuff you don't know. What is everyone going to say when the victim testifies during my Scranton Times lawsuit? What is she going to say? I have a feeling the truth is going to be revealed. Well, that might be more accurate than you thought. Jesus Christ. You okay? As I can be. You. Everything is going to be fine. I promise. I hope so. I just want what I earned and deserve. You have no idea what a terrible fucking year I had. I do know. Only bits and pieces. Maybe one day you'll be able to explain to you. 11, 11:30, anywhere in there. KK Shakespeare. I shall. The Daily Beast article. Folks, continue to bless. God protects you and your family. You are a good man, Phil. May your generosity be returned 1,000 times. Pedophile. Well, you finally got everything you ever wanted. You're famous. I'm not lying, but I'm not going to let anybody call you a child predator either. I am shook to my fucking core. No one asked you to lie, Bree. You were intimidated and extorted for your affidavit. Those are facts. I didn't say that. No, I wasn't. I called and asked for help and didn't get it. But you proceeded on the promise of help, which is extortion. Yeah, to stand up against you privately. But now this is the Rolling Stones public. You know I'm right. We can talk more about it in the end of the day. The above comments are the rest of my life. Are you currently, as you currently think your fans, Phil, I'm right here with you. No one else is in this boat besides us. So here we go, I guess. So help me fix it for both of us. I knew in my stomach today something was going to happen. I felt it coming. Why do you think I told you I was going to get creative? Creative doesn't get rid of a sworn statement. Creative would have been before the statement. This is going to be intentionally news, international news, if it isn't already. I'm going to tell my truth, but really drive home you don't like kids, and it makes me want to spit at whoever says that. Not going to matter, Bree. I got to go live now. How do you know how persuasive? You don't know how persuasive I can be. No more times telling my story and you telling my story. I am telling my story. KK, go get them, Robin Hood. If you say we had sex before you were 18, it'll have even worse effect. If that's something you feel you have to say, I'd rather you do nothing at all. Ooh, this is damning. Oh, no. Oh, no, Phil. If you say we had sex before you were 18, it'll be even worse. So what she wants to, the way Bree feels about this from her own statements, okay, is that her and Phil had sex when she was a minor. That's what she says, right? She was 15, 16. He was 25, 26. But she doesn't feel like he manipulated her or preyed on her or whatever. She feels like she made the choice of her own. That doesn't matter in the court of law, but that's what she feels like. So when she's saying here, like, I'm going to tell my truth, but I'm going to let people know you're not attracted to kids, it was because I was a 16-year-old, you know, and I was basically an adult. She believes like he's an adult. She believes she was as an adult, which it doesn't matter in the eyes of the law, but that's what she believes. We've seen posts about her like that. Like, I'm not, you know, I don't, he didn't manipulate me. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. It was my choice to be there, but that really doesn't matter when you're 16. He's 26. Well, she's talking to Phil right here. You're not going to say that either in my chat. Someone delete that. If I hide in your shadow for another living, breathing second, I will quite literally turn invisible. I would have rather you dropped the suit or have never filed this in the first place or made my story and our story as fucking public as you have. Now I have no other choice. This quite literally is about to make international news. I can't believe any of this right now. I'm going to have reporters at my house. I warned you, it'll get worse, way worse. I'm glad your following and Amanda are more important than me, and I hope you had fun threatening me tonight. I'm actually afraid, you fucking jackass. You brought this attention to both of us, and now you're sad? When really I've been the one protecting both of us. You've been friends with Amanda for what, a year? No, you only know each other through me, and I don't know what the fuck you got her involved in, but you are my friend, No, you're my ex, and she is my friend. This is all a fucking joke. But yeah, threaten me with outing my mental health. Yeah, anyone would be stressed carrying around all the weight of both of our problems. You're unfucking real. I've been the one who's had your back all these years. Me. I've been loyal to you. Me. You've known Amanda for a year. You haven't even known your fiance that long. You've been a constant in my life for 14 years. Literally, these people don't even fucking know you. But if you want to have a public smear campaign and absolutely destroy each other, then fine. That's what we'll do if this is what you want. I've been the one who's had your back all these years. Oh, never mind. That's what we just read. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. This is Phil being Phil, right? This is after they met at Amanda's or whatever, allegedly. And he offered her the money to lie, and she said she wasn't. And then that's when he said that he was going to talk about her mental health. That's not true. Kristen, stop saying shit that's untrue in my chat. That's not true. The text messages were absolutely 100% allowed in court. It never went to trial. They were 100% there. They were never disproven. You can't keep saying shit like that. So they meet up, and then he threatens to out her mental health conditions. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Kay, I figured as much. I'm scared, but enjoy your fame. Bree, my live was about giving to people in need. I never once even mentioned you. Oh my God, I just watched it. I'm not sure you did. Is that you dressed as Santa? You most likely watched something old because you weren't mentioned at all. No, it's me photoshopped as Santa. Why is Santa blonde, gold? Evidently, you just realized that you were watching an old video. What was the date? Just curious. I'm sleeping at my mom's, so I don't have reporters crawling through my window on November 26. Excellent avoidance of the question. Classic. We don't even hate each other. This is stupid. You're stupid. It all goes away, Bree, once the affidavit goes away. No one will ever mention us in a negative way ever again. It's the only way, and you know it. I'm going to bed. Call me tomorrow. No, it's not literally. I literally need a lawyer, and I'm still being kind, me, and my big, nice, stupid heart doesn't want to hurt you, even though you don't care about me. I'm still sitting over here like, how do I make sure no one hurts Phil's feelings? Kay, you'll have my lawyer. Good night. Good night, you stupid dick. And then he sends another screenshot. I guess of people talking shit. Damn. Those weren't very good for Phil. Defendant's motion for summary judgment from Chris Kelly and Scranton Times. Yeah, I don't. You can like Phil, but you got to be. If you're going to say in the chat, you got to be accurate. I don't spread misinformation on my channel. The text messages were never, ever, 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 ever barred from court, taken out of court, proven false in court. Ever. That's never happened. I know that you were told that. It's just not true. There's no evidence of it whatsoever. Okay, this is just a glossary. Burn approved and related cases. I think that's it. Then if we just go all the way through this glossary or whatever. What's it called? Index. A glossary would be something else. This is an index. Phil, I have your back, Bree. Oh, this is a transcript of it. No, it's like the most delicate situation aside from your extra troubles and extra troubles. What happened between us falls around. Most of nothing between us ever bad. Even when I heard things about you and Miranda or you being an asshole, I mean, my first thought was that Phil has never been so much to raise his voice at me or said anything nasty to me ever. Through everything and all of it, we read these. You've never been mean to me. You had to defend yourself because you had no other choice. I mean, I'm going to be 29 and you're like 37. I know this sounds crazy, but there's examples where, let's say, the girl was older, like 18 or 19, and the boy was 16. That age difference is nothing. But if a girl, 18, 19, 16 wouldn't have even been illegal in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's law is a 4 or more years difference. Even if they're 12, it's a 4 or more year difference. Then I gotta hear you asking you to help me when you go on YouTube live for the last year. How many times tell thousands of people I'm a liar and it never happened and we have no affiliation? The side you tell to the public is not the truth. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. I understand you basically had no other choice, especially at the time. I think she's still kind of, I don't know. It's sad that the stuff that she believes, mostly from her interaction between her and Phil. Section of this brief, prove Godlewski is a liar. This is all from Bree's case. We've read all of this. It's just been a while. This is all the stuff that's filed in Bree's case. It's like a couple hundred pages. That's what the index was for, was this section, not the Nick section. Defendant, a 15, 16-year-old minor during that time, engaged in sexual intercourse multiple times. Plaintiff intentionally initiated harmful or offensive physical contact with defendant, who was a minor at the time. During none of these sexual interactions, plaintiff obtain actual consent, as any consent given was under duress, considering plaintiff had a position of power as a high school baseball coach. That's all part of the Bree case. That'll be settled later. All right, guys, that's it. What do you think? First of all, what do you think on jurisdiction? Should this case be held in Pennsylvania, considering Nick says, I have no ties to Pennsylvania, but we all saw that he did billboards, mobile billboards, flyers, postcards, posters, apparently. That was the first time we'd seen. Airport things. Do you think that that this court should be held in Pennsylvania or no? And secondly, do you think that it should just put dismissed or no? Dismissed or no? Dismissed because everything that Nick said is true. Do you think it should be dismissed or no? On the grounds that everything that Nick said is true. Not just in the movie, but in the whole scope of everything that's happened since he went live. No dismissal. If Nick was suing him, it would be in Wyoming, probably. He would try at least. Or Tennessee, I guess. He would try that at least. I mean, Phil could always do it. Phil could always do the same thing. I don't think they're going to get the jurisdiction one because of what they did in Pennsylvania. They even hired a goddamn airplane in Pennsylvania. And literally were bragging about the stuff they were doing in Pennsylvania because it was his hometown. Everybody will see it. Nobody will ever work with him again. Everybody's going to know we're doing this all over his hometown in Pennsylvania. Like, I don't think they'll get the dismissal either way. Here's what Mariah wanted us to check out earlier, I guess. Are they in reverse order? So Phyllis posts another fat bird video. Sorry. Ruby says, so Phyllis posts another fat bird video. Fucking idiot must be choking on bird seed. You get it? Bird is my last name, and bird seed is apparently what I eat and vape and cause me to shave my head. By the way, it's glossy smooth right now. Mariah likes my smooth head. She likes the skin on my head. Both of them. Wildo's opinions aren't going to say Phildo. Doesn't matter how much you pay the fat bird. Says Miss My A Pearl. Lisa C says, laugh out loud. I laughed on this. They are all scums and frauds. And then Oliver's mom sends a laughing emote, I guess. 3 laughing emotes. I don't know if she's seen her nose. Never mind. Birdseed, really? That's what we're going with? All right. If Phil is advertising for Will, you know it is because he invested in Will. I wonder if they know. So most of these people are Q-tards, right? I wonder if they know that they have many of the same beliefs that Phil has. Like, a lot of them are flat earthers. I saw an argument breaking out the other day over flat earth in Good Line Den. Like, so me and Phil share some beliefs, mostly that Nick fucking is going to lose this case. Nick's a piece of shit. Right? But so do they. So if they had a video that was really good on fucking flat earth and Phil shared it, would they be like, Phil paid for it? Lorianne, that was Todd for Freedom. Lorianne says, absolutely, and it just shows what a loser Will is, too. He constantly badmouthed Phil and tore apart everything he said. Now he kisses his ass. What a giant loser. You already said that. I have zero respect for him. I used to watch and subscribe to him on Twitch. Not anymore. He's a sellout. Thank you, Lorianne. I'm glad. Glad we parted ways. Appreciate it. Lisa says, he was so disgusting and crass, yet I still watched a little. What a total fat loser he is now. Got him. Never again. That was from Lisa. Lisa. Is there an address if we want to mail a check? Oh, you got to email nick@goodline.tv. What are we sending checks for? I missed it because I was only online like 5 minutes earlier today. For Nick's case. For Nick's legal fees against Phil. Oh, I missed that. I pray he wins it. And quick. Such a waste of the court's times. I don't know. I didn't know he needed help. Didn't he say he was a millionaire? Uh-oh. You can see his message on the Good Lines film page. Oh, okay, thanks. I thought he was never served. That's weird. No response.
Evil!
There you go. There's your dramatic reading for tonight, folks. I think that's it, guys. Hang out on Telegram. Join our Telegram. Come hang out with us. Discord. I'm going to try to put more stuff in Discord, especially if I start up the when I start up the car channel. I keep calling it a mechanical channel, and I do want to work on stuff that's not cars, like just small mechanical things. Fucking appliances. I don't care. I just want to work on stuff like I told my dad I would, and try to start a video on it. But I'm just going to start calling it the car channel because it's easier. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll hop off here. Don't do anything Nick would do because it probably includes actual malice by the definition of the law. We'll see about the next one. Mushrooms I just don't have mushrooms going on right now. I've got a bag that's basically ready to go to bulk. But I shut it all down for a while because I got so many. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for being here. We're going to eat a bunch of mushrooms on April 8th for the eclipse and try to see God. I'll see everybody else on the next one. Have a good night. I got a Patreon show to make up for tonight. I just had all those 500 pages to read. I knew we didn't have time. So, love you. See you. Bye. Looks like I'm getting to bed early. Have a good one. Oh, hey, Pebbles.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag has...
Thanks for joining us, you pedo.
You don't have the fork and balls to call out...
Sorry, Nick got to me.
...planet.
He paid me off and told me to call you a pedo.
Exactly who they are.
He sent me his nudes.
You don't have the fork and balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit.
Right Quick. Someone's name on YouTube is Right Quick. Is that a joke about me? Everybody says I say Right Quick too much. Let's do this right quick. Let's hop over there right quick. Hold on right quick. Everybody says I say it too much. Is that a joke about me or no? Because that would be funny.
Cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit. Where my true believer? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord and to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping Trump's cock and begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like fool in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft.
Make sure you donate for one millionaire to sue another millionaire, by the way.
Your gut burn.
This is almost as bad as donating to Trump's penalty he's supposed to pay to New York State.
Sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers, cause you told him if he did.
I think they already left, but
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that.
yep, sorry. It's an admiration of you, though, for waking me up from Phil coma. Thank you.
Find clues too when
I know I say it a lot. I can't help it. It's like
the Jason's cutest bedroom.
it's the GoFundMe's up to $1,300. It's like a tick or something. I don't know.
To the roof, I found myself in orbit.
Thanks for joining us.
F-16, high on amphetamine, with Trump in between. Put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait. Stop. What? I'll get my files. Wait, what are you doing? Stop. Hold on. Fucking stop. Dude, come on. Seriously. This is lip balms and alcohol.
I don't think I ever text it. It's only when I'm talking.
Here we go, I think I started some shit.
I can't remember ever topping it out to somebody, but whatever.
Some bets, you know that state.
Jim from Florida donated $20
Cause you ain't
to Nick Alvear's Give, Sing, Go campaign. Thank you, Jim from Florida.
piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Round 3. Down goes Nino. Please say it isn't so. Got him backed up on the rope.
It could be a different Florida, guys. Don't get too upset yet.
Solo.
Could be a different Florida.
Shoulders, they ringing his bell. You got Frog News Network doing no damn research. They rework and copy on Cox that came first. 9th inning, second string, and they acting like they know hitters.
Yeah, I think,
Bronze to the
I don't know.
nonsense.
I'm really curious. Let's say an adult has sex with a 16-year-old
With all their secret meaning,
and someone calls them a pedophile and it goes to court.
no meaning is bull.
Could they win on the grounds of that's technically an ehebephile,
Here we go, I think I started some shit.
right?
Piss him off,
Could you win on that?
lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't
Right quick?
done yet. Here we go, I think I
Fuck you guys.
piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better